Houston Texans very nearly blew this game. I mean, they were up 20-3 in the first half. They were coasting, with a couple of CJ Stroud turnovers kind of opened Pandora's box. He had an interception and later a fumble deep inside their own territory where the Buffalo Bills converted for a field goal to take that as a tie. And in the waning seconds, this is when the issue sort of came about, where the Texans pinned the Buffalo Bills deep inside their own 5-yard line. And with under a minute left, you probably just play for overtime. It's just way too risky. Something could go wrong. But I don't know if this was Sean McDermott's call, whether it was Josh Allen's call, or whether it was the OC. Whoever it was made a bad decision because it was throw, only taking off 12 seconds off the clock. And this led to the Bills punting it away. The punter didn't even have the full field to work with to get room to kick off the ball. The Texans field the ball around midfield. They take it inside to Bills territory, and then they only need about 5 yards to get to the edges of their kicker's range, which in today's NFL, it's very doable to make like a 58, 60-yard kick, and that's what happened. The Bills hand the Texans a victory. And despite the Texans losing Nico Collins in this matchup, I thought it was a great deal of poise just to grind out a victory when you lose a very talented piece. Nico has been really good for this team, and he's been arguably one of the best receivers in this league, at least this year. But his time is going to be missed, and it's going to be like a week-to-week type of deal with this team. But with what the Bills are doing, this is just another miscue that's led to a very bad defeat. They're already coming off a huge loss against the Baltimore Ravens, and that was a game where their defensive injuries seemed to catch up with them. They just got completely bludgeoned by Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. And this kind of game was very different, but they didn't seem into it unless it was thanks to these Texans miscues. And yet again, it comes down to Josh Allen, and I understand you are bereft of weapons. There's no Stephon Diggs. In fact, he's playing for the other team in this matchup. But you still have Keon Coleman, the up-and-coming rookie. You still have Dalton Kincaid. You have James Cook. And there were countless times that Josh Allen just missed throws. I understand he was plagued by drops in this game. I was commenting on things and other pages on social media, and Bills fans just came after me saying that he was plagued by drops. I acknowledge that, Bills Mafia, but there were a lot of times that your boy Josh Allen just missed throws. He made the bad read. Let's just acknowledge that he is a guy that can be flawed, and this was a game that he was very inaccurate. 9 out of 30. I mean, I've seen guys play with bad NFL talent, let's be honest, but they can at least complete 50% of their passes, maybe even 40, right? This guy completed 30% of his passes in an NFL game. One catch and 49 yards of that 131-yard total came from a Keon Coleman catch and run. And that was pretty wide open too. And protection held up in this game. It wasn't like Josh was under duress. It was just the receivers either weren't getting separation or dropping passes, or him just flat out missing him. I saw at least 3 to 4 good misses out there from Josh Allen that could have turned into touchdowns, absolutely. So Josh absolutely needs to work on the accuracy, because this is something where we've seen this kind of come back in the last couple of years ever since Brian Daboll has left. And now with no Stephon Diggs as your security blanket, the Bills face a massive test next week. The New York Jets next week on Monday Night Football, and that's going to be a big test. The Jets are coming in reeling off of 2 consecutive losses. They're desperate for a win. And even if the Bills handle business there, let's say, that would basically put them in the driver's seat to win this division, the AFC East. What does that prove? The AFC East is one of the worst divisions in football. The Patriots are totally lost this year. The Miami Dolphins are completely clueless without Tua Tagovailoa. And the Jets, they're not looking that great after 5 games. So if they do that, what does that prove? Not a lot to me. The Texans look better. They just beat the Bills. The Ravens just beat them last week, and they don't have a prayer against the Kansas City Chiefs. So yes, they might win this division, but I do project them at this point to be a first-round exit for the Buffalo Bills.